Welcome to the Nehemiah Entrepreneurship Community Podcast. I'm your host, Patrice, Tsague. Guess who we have in studio today? The man, the legend, the lion of Kenya, Frank, the Proud of Africa. Welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Thank you, Patrice. Thank you.
So today we're going to talk about biblical entrepreneurship and job creation in Kenya. We're going to try to. This podcast is designed to kind of update you on the awesome things that have been happening in Kenya. The fact that Kenya has won again the regional Africa International Business Plan competition, and so they're going to the international, and we'll see what happens. I mean, Rita, she's an amazing contender. We'll talk about that. So the trophy this year may go from Kenya to Kenya. We'll see. And no one has ever won 3 times in a row. And so that's the goal that everybody's trying to hit. Well, Kenya has to first do 2 times in a row before they look at 3 times. So we'll see what happens. But Frank, it's been a while since you've been here in studio, man. You're like the guy I was telling you earlier. He's the center that everybody's trying to mirror. Every time anybody talks about how they're going to do this, they compare themselves to Frank. Like Frank. First of all, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in this kind of situation where everybody's compared themselves to you when they're talking about how good they want to do?
No, Patrice. No, I'm not sure I have. I know I always want to be the guy to look up someone else. Yeah, and the difference for me is trying to be like Patrice. How do you do that? Yeah, so that's tough because Patrice is a go-getter. Patrice, yeah, as in every single sales meeting we have, you have a new product to share. So how do you compete with that, Patrice? So forget competitions, man. That's business. That's creating value out there consistently, continuously. That's what to beat. That's what to beat.
Well, it is exciting, Frank. First of all, I am just so proud of you. I really am. You excite me. As an African, you make me so proud. I just want to say that.
Thank you, sir.
Because you are, and your team, you are delivering excellence and at a level that if you keep this up, my friend, oh my God. I mean, Kenya is going to be on the map. So first, how does it feel? And do you have to think, and what I like about you too is that you have a great way, because the unfortunate thing is that when you are number one, you get all these accolades and they can be very distracting. And I know I'm distracting you right now because they're not helpful. Let's be honest. I mean, a little bit fine, but all the time it's not helpful. But unfortunately, that's how we're wired, right? We're wired to talk about successes. And I'm having strong success bias. I have to admit it. I have a strong success bias. So how does it feel? And how do you navigate to make sure that it doesn't cause you to lose to settle?
Patrice, my goal is these successes, we bless the Lord for them, but this is not it, man.
I love it.
This is not it. And the success is not mine, really, Patrice. It's the person who has the toughest job is the entrepreneur. That's who's true. Won. Well, I don't have to do much. They have to show up, answer questions, and what I have my share. Yes, the load of it, Patrice. So. You know what? I first, so 2 things. First, I bless the Lord for it, but this is not it. This is one entrepreneur, Patrice. I'm looking for 10,000.
Wow.
Wow. And yeah, so it's the goal. You know what Jesus said, Patrice, in the book of Philippians, chapter 2. What are that? Looking on. No, that's Paul. Paul says, looking unto Jesus,
Yeah.
Yeah, but the one I'm looking for is the one for Jesus himself. What Paul says about Jesus, that he looked to the cross.
That's
He
right.
was not distracted. He was not looking at this and that.
Yeah.
Patrice, if you can be distracted by both success and failure, you've got to wrap them off as quick as possible and keep going where you're going. And if you can't do that, you're not worthy of either, because both provide amazing lessons in life.
Wow.
Uh,
Amen.
yeah.
So,
So for me, is you know what, just stay at it,
yeah.
keep going where you're going. If tomorrow I wake up and we've been bitten, that's okay. I will wake up tomorrow just the way I did the success, and I'll say, "Oh, ouch!" But then I will wake up the next morning, and we will go.
So, for those center directors who may be watching this program and those trainers around the world who are saying, who are looking at you as they know, they're saying, you know, what's been the key for you? So let's get behind a little bit. Let's get under the hood. So, was it that you were very prepared before you took on this assignment? Is it kind of the stuff that you went through prior to Nehemiah? Is it some of the discipline and rigor you're doing now? Is it, if you want to kind of just give some tips to aspiring country directors, regional directors, center directors, trainers, coaches, to say here's been the key to me building raving fans and creating momentum in Nairobi. What would you say?
But I was interviewed by a guy I really respected for my previous job before I came to Nehemiah. And he asked me, said, Frank, you've not been CEO, you've been top of a lot of organizations, but you've not been where the job we have headhunted you for. Why should I trust you that you'll do it? And you know what Patrice said? I don't even know how I said that. It's one of those things you say because you're either stupid or the Holy Spirit leads you to say it. I said, I know what it is to fail
Wow.
and to get up. And if you ask me, is my becoming a BE, a center director, country director, is I started out by failing to be number one in my international competition. And this was plan B. Yet this is actually one of those I was saying, Patrice, it's like, okay, we failed. Okay, so what? Let's move. And my first person that I brought to Nehemiah at international failed.
That's true. I forget about that.
Yeah, I failed miserably, and I was like,
He didn't make among the top five. And I think about it.
oh,
I
it
mean, he
was
didn't make the top four. He was like fifth or whatever. That's right.
as in, and look, and that was my guy.
Wow.
And obviously he's an amazing guy, but I failed. So I say that, you know what, we are made a lot from lessons we learned when we fail.
Amen.
Failure is a really good teacher. But then, you know what it does? It motivates you because you know that pain. You know what you didn't do right. You know what you went wrong. So, especially all those country directors that have, or center directors who've lost because their person was not elected. Guys, you have been given firepower. Use it.
Wow.
How do you use it? Train your people. Love. So I always say, love your people first. Just love them. The perks of a coach are painful.
Yeah.
It's not all gloom and what. You have guys who will insult you on the way. There are guys who will not work. They'll never do assignments, but love them anyway. And then do your job. Just do your job. In the morning and night, just do your job. And use the fuel of the failure to prepare for your next battle. And you know what? Before you know, you are doing some things that are amazing. And then raise the bar tomorrow a little higher. After you do it now, okay, so now you're in the new level, raise it up again. I never will be satisfied by yesterday's victory. You know what? You know the problem with yesterday's victory, Patrice? It's yesterday. There's
Wow.
nothing you can do about it. It's gone. You can make noise about it, but it's gone. So if you wait for yesterday's victory and say, do you know what? Oh, I made it. You're gone. Great coaches look for the next championship.
That is incredible. You know, sometimes I've been watching or listening and saying, okay, what's this thing about Kenya and the Nairobi Center and Nehemiah Project Kenya? So let me kind of give some stats. So they won first place last year, both the People's Choice and the International Business Plan Competition, both for Africa as well as international, and both won People's Choice on both sides. I mean, your average events, meetings, no less than 50. You get something around 100 plus. I mean, something like graduations. You actually have more. Your meetings are consistently attended higher ratio, high attendance rate than even HQ's meetings on average. You just want to average them all out. So you've had the ability. You've developed, and that's consistent. That's consistent. As a matter of fact, you know, I was teasing your team during the recent debrief of the regional competition. I said, "What happened to Kenya? I was expecting a couple of hundred." You know, so you've created this expectation that Kenya shows up. You know, it's powerful when you've gotten to that point where people is just keep expecting out of you. So you they show up. You had recently a summit where I want you to give it the stats for that. You had both a hybrid, live and online. It was an amazing. I want to give you a stat for that. You from a revenue standpoint, right now you have the center with the most revenue. I think the only one that's ahead of you maybe is Orlando, but it's not dollar for dollar, because when you look at you can look the conversion rate. I mean, look at just Kenya shillings versus dollars. I mean, yours is supernatural almost, right? In terms of, because you're charging less money in terms of dollar conversion and even in terms of rate. So in terms of overall number of students trained, I think you are leading nationally in terms of the center who's training the most entrepreneurs. In terms of active trainers and coaches, you have the most. But what I love about your numbers, Frank, is it's consistent. So it's not like you don't have this. You have this, which is it's sustainable, is what I want to look for, because it's easy to get these one-hit wonders. But the key is, what's the consistent flow? What are you seeing? You have two support staff that work for you, and one has been with you for I think 2 to 3 years now. The other one's been with you now going on a year. So you've been able to. I remember when you were on your first staff, you failed there as well. I remember that challenge. You have 3 trainers and coaches that are raving fans. Your wife is a trainer, certified trainer as well. So you have an alumni base. When you call a meeting, they show up. You have a steady BSA program. You're the only center that has, on an ongoing basis, have Identity and Destiny, Biblical Understanding classes, and BSA going at the same time consistently. So when you look, so that's what we're celebrating. Those data, those statistics, that consistency. So with that, I'm sure it comes with, like my Rachel said, she said, coach must have the heart of a shepherd, knowing when to nurture and when to prune. I like that. Gina says, friend, you succeed because you're a hard worker. You keep your focus on the prize, and you persevere. May the Lord continue to bless you and prosper you. So those things are true. And midst of all that, you lost your partner this year. But yet that didn't keep you from pressing on. So I think what I'm hearing you say, Frank, that is the key is how quickly you get up when you fail and how quickly you move on when you succeed. Is that kind of what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah. Patrice, look, we have a special opportunity in biblical entrepreneurship. I have been doing ministry, Patrice, for about 25 years. and I have been in corporate about 20 years. I have never had so much fun mixing those two in one place. How much fun is that? As in, this is 100% church and 100% business. It's like the way Jesus is, as in he was 100% human and 100% God at the same time. As in, this has been so for me is I just what we teach in BE, Patrice, is when opportunity is when preparedness and God's timing. At that point, the Bible talks about it in the book of Psalms 102, the set time of your favor. When that moment comes, so I don't think there is a great manufacturing work we are doing. I think we just hit there is just an intersection, a convergence, if you like, that's happened at the right time, at the right space. And you know what, so preparedness has just gotten right to the think about the people, Patrice, who are working for us. Look at Ruth, look at Rachel, look at Albert, look at Lorna, look at Pastor Zeph. All these guys, look at their journey. God prepared them for this thing. And now when the opportunity comes, boom, I mean, when the timing is right, opportunity is born. You then opportunities, if you do not work the opportunity, even if it is in the perfect timing of God, it will become a fruit that falls to the ground before time. That's where work kicks in. So now you've got to take that mantle, or you have got to take that, like the plow, and run it across the field. So for me is honestly, God has already done it, and all I have to do is run after him. I run after him. Running after him means seeking him, waiting in prayer, waiting in the word, and taking care of the people. Just today, I was talking to Ruth and I was saying, you will never have a scenario where we care for our what do you call them? Our clients more than we care for our staff.
Amen.
So that's the job. You try your best. You fail, you'll have those moments when you're down, but you care for them. You care, and that's what David used to do. In fact, when we were doing our pinning session, Patrice, you were able to join us. You would not have realized David was carrying. I remember one Ruth, I believe, is it Rachel or Ruth, who sent David to the supermarket because we did buy some files, and David ran down the stairs like a little guy, went and bought it. You will never have known that the guy is top management in Coca-Cola, or that he's an owner of the company. And that's the heart of this whole thing, Patrice. We recognize that this is God doing something, and all we have to do is follow him. For me, that's the key. If you're going to run a center well, recognize the hand of the Lord in it, and then put the work behind it. And the rest is inevitable. It will work. And even if it takes a while, wait for it, keep doing the thing, it will turn around. And what God has shown me is what we've begun here, what he has begun here is far bigger than us. And so, Patrice, for me is, hey, you know what? Recognize the hand of the Lord in this and go for it.
Wow. Talking to Frank Kitonga, the Center Director for Nehemiah for E-Community Nairobi, Country Director for Nehemiah Kenya, as well as Frank. Let me say it. So many of you guys do not know this, but this upcoming August at Nehemiah Week, we are going to be consecrated Frank as the new Assistant Regional Director for Africa. Frank, first of all, congratulations, my friend. Well deserved. And see, Pastor Gabriel is smart. So he said to me, Patrice, I need Frank on my team. We need to make him assistant director. And I told one of our team, I said, the guy's smart. He doesn't want to tail wagging the dog. And so, for those who don't understand what that means here in the U.S. lingo, it means that this guy Frank, in at our church, I came up in a church where the local church was bigger than the denomination in terms of budget and finances, right? And the bishops weren't smart enough to make the pastor part of the leadership. So that church was a pain in the butt to the denomination because even though the church didn't have political power, but they had financial power. Right. So man, first of all, congratulations, my friend. How do you feel about that new position, new title? I know it's more responsibility. And what are you looking forward to with that's concerned? I mean, you've always had a calling for Africa. You were never just made for Kenya.
First of all, Patrice, I agree with you. Gabriel is an amazing man. As in, when you listen to Gabriel speak, Patrice, it's like the epitome of philosophy in the Word of God. Very well, clearly, well articulated. You sit under this man's feet. You understand why he has two churches in Paris. It makes sense. As in, it makes sense that the guy is an entrepreneur. He runs a school all the way in Congo. It makes sense that he's the regional director and that he's been here 8 years. You know what, Patrice? I say that he's a guy who sank the first well in Africa.
Well said.
And I honor that. And what a privilege to serve him. What a privilege to come behind this man and see what God is doing and has done through him and get the opportunity to serve him. That's, for me, it's a privilege. And I look forward to that.
What when you look at the opportunity to think Africa, what do you look forward to in that role? What does that mean? First, let me ask this: and do you think the magic in Kenya can be replicated throughout the continent?
Patrice, the key is leadership.
Mm.
We now in Kenya only are going to give birth to a new center in a short while. The difference has been leadership growth. If you ask Lorna, I think at some point she just flat out didn't like me. She's like, he's giving me the toughest jobs and I don't like him. She's an amazing, talented. Honestly, Patrice, it's like I feel like in Lorna, I'm creating my perfect competition. As in, I'm like, she knows all the tricks because I invite her into them. And so I'm like, okay, I can't wait when I will have to compete against Lorna because it will be like a mirror image.
I love
and
it.
I'm like, wow. And you see, Patrice, that's the call. We are called to replicate ourselves in others. That's what you've done with me. As in, you meet me every week seeking to help me see, as in, how many demons have you helped me chase inside me? And let's just talk about one, poverty. That's the biggest one. Somebody needs to model these things, Patrice. And they are hungry, talented, strong men and women in this continent. And they only need to be held their hand.
Wow.
The key to doing this and replicating it, there's no question. Did you know, Patrice? Let me tell you. If I took you to Gabon in the night and you landed, boom, in a village, not in the city, and then I took you to Cameroon, and then I took you to Nigeria, and then I dropped you in Tanzania, you will not know the difference. The people look because I've worked in Africa in over 27 countries, in different countries. The way Africa watches the European football, like now it's going on in Gabon, it will be the same in parts of South Africa, it will be the same in parts of Kenya, it will be the same in deep Tanzania. I've traveled. you will not tell the difference between Mozambique and Madagascar.
Wow.
What does that say, Patrice? The problems are common.
Mm.
The ingenuity, entrepreneurial spirit is the same. All we need to do is find the right person in the country. And God has promised that the harvest is ready. It's the harvesters that are few. And He says, pray for laborers. But please, the role of deputy regional director is to find talent and grow it.
Wow.
If we do that, then we will be able to replicate what God has started here. And
Wow.
God has been gracious. We've started to do it here in Nairobi, and we see what Lorna is going to do. You'll be here in October. We will launch her out, and then we will be ready to step away. And we have to go out and do that elsewhere.
You know, Frank, when we were going national, I remember the challenge that I had with the locals who felt they were losing me. And I literally remember the difficulty that I had in trying to get somebody else to inherit the local work so that I can rise up to international. They didn't make it easy. I mean, people fought me, and it's almost like, you know, I mean, I said, man, I appreciate the love, but that's too much love. That love has become a prison. I like the guy, he said, you can't hold me into a prison, even one built with love. So my question to you, my friend, is because in the years to come, you may be more demanded in other parts of Africa than in Kenya. Is Kenya ready to share their franc?
And that's a fantastic question. The person who calls me out the most about Africa, you'd be surprised, is Grace. My wife has told me, she kept saying, and she tells the kids, you better behave because your father's Grace is not Kenyan. You've got to step up and be like him. And she doesn't know. She's telling me, get up, man. Don't think Kenya alone. In fact, don't think Nairobi. Because
Wow.
Patrice, we were just thinking Nairobi when we began. Now we're beginning to go national. We have students from all over the country. We have students from Africa coming in.
Wow.
And so I can tell you what I've seen. It's easy because we are having a great growth. The easy part is stay maybe with the old guys who know you as coach. But the new ones that are coming who don't have to deal with the legacy of Frank, let them meet new coaches. So now I show up in class as a visitor. Albert, he's doing such a fantastic job. I never need to show up in class.
Wow.
Lorna is doing the same. In fact, this time Lorna graduated a class which she started and ran all the way to graduation.
Wow.
And then when she finished, she said, oh my God, is that what it takes to graduate a class? But you see, there it is. It's not me. It's somebody else is doing it. So what's already happened is, even though it's harder to release the guys, even for me, I want to feel important, so I kind of hold on. But I don't think the people are the problem. I'm probably the bigger problem. I need to let them go. And like, yeah, you guys, you're good. You're good. You won't die. Those guys are as good, as experienced as the rest of us. So here we go, and we go out there. So we have to learn to let go. And the whole point of this, what we do, is not to create dependence. If you are a coach for somebody, Patrice, for 10 years and they still need you, there's a problem.
Well,
good coached clients outgrow their coach.
Wow.
In about 3 years, somebody needs to have learned what you carry and they need someone else to come in. The only way to stop that maybe is you need to keep growing extremely. But in 3 years, you have already poured your heart, visited, loved. This person needs to move on. They need somebody else to coach it. That's why our BSA program is designed for 3 years. Because, Patrice, after 3 years, we don't want the guy starting year one again. Unless that's the kingdom. Is that the KBC plan? No, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So we've got to be ready to transition, both you or me as a coach, but
Mhm.
also the coachee.
Ooh, I love it. And Frank, you raised a good point there. Many times it's us as leaders. And you're right, we would love being needed and wanted, right? It does something
Yeah.
to our ego. Rachel says, congratulations, Frank, on your title and role. Elbow count. What is that elbow count? Is that a Kenyan term? What does that mean?
I think it's, I
Oh,
don't know. I don't
oh,
know if
I like that. I like that. She also says that she sent David to the supermarket and he responded with speed. That was the height of servant leadership. Good feedback there, Rachel. So, Frank, let's talk. You just recently had a summit. We talked to Frank Kitonga, the assistant regional director for Africa, country director for Kenya, and the director for the Nairobi Center. Um, Tell us a bit about the stats. What happened there? Why the summit? What was the outcome? And what was the impact?
Oh, Patrice. First of all, the summit was either another inspiration or just the most foolish thing I ever did. Oh my God, faith is crazy, man. Faith is crazy. I was targeting to have 10,000 people join that. And I remember Deborah asking, Frank, what if they actually come? What will you do with them? So we had an engagement online, just Facebook, and we did LinkedIn and all that. We had an engagement online of over 50,000 people because
Wow.
we did a lot of videos, a lot of testimonials go out, a lot of text, and what it was amazing. And that was rich, but we had an engagement of about 8,900 then. Now it's changed. Now it's changed a bit to about 10,000. We hit our number of engagement.
Wow.
And now the number of people we collected, so that was our highest. We had about 349 people register for our event. Now, so we've been bringing these guys into the needs assessment. In fact, I was having a chat with Lorna, and we are like, oh my God, what do we do? Our entire week is full of needs assessment, needs assessment, needs assessment. And we are busy trying to convert the needs assessment to self-study program, which is beginning on the 15th of July. So did this work? Patrice, the impact was national.
Wow.
As in, we went on national TV, on a TV station that covers over 4 million people watching. And that's the footprint of either we're going to do it all the way or we are going to do it all the way. We are not looking back anymore. We are not going to look back. I am not. What God has shown me, what Africa needs, is we've got to be bold and we've got to step out there and we've got to be ready to lead the nation into a new frontier. And I believe, I'm completely convinced, even as Reinhard Bonke saw an Africa covered by the blood of Jesus, the wave after evangelism comes the wave of kingdom establishment. Now we've got to bring the kingdom of God to run this mountain called economics. And that's going to be done by people who are willing to fight up that mountain. And Patrice, you know what? I don't have to lead the army, but I'm going to run forward and bring this army that God is raising in Africa. Because, Patrice, Africa will feed the world. And we will be right there doing it. So
Wow.
get ready.
I love it. This is bold leadership. I'm not sure who this is, but somebody's Frank said, "We celebrate you, Frank. Your leadership and obedience to God's call on your life is quite something. It's a blessing to serve God's people with you." I can't see your name. I'm sorry. They're doing it out of the Nehemiah Project Facebook. Just give us your name. And then Mona Lisa, I like that name, says, was Lona's first class. Was in Lona's first class, and she was very supportive of firm. I cannot believe it was the first class.
She
Wow.
didn't know Patrice. She just graduated from that class.
Wow, congratulations, Mona Lisa. And that was Ruth Badu on the other comment there. This is incredible. Frank, I'm going to send this podcast. There's a gal named Joanne Randall. Joanne, if you're watching or listening to this, please give us a shout out. Joanne is an amazing woman of God. She's a biblical entrepreneur. She's about to go through, I think you should go through the class. I'm about to take her through self-study, as a matter of fact, so she can be an alumni by the time she gets to you. But so Joanne, she has a powerful ministry, powerful business around empowering women and so forth. She said, Patrice, I want to go to Africa with you. So Joanne may be with me in October when I come to Kenya. You know, every time I want to go to Africa, so let me take you to our best. So be ready, man. So Joanne, I said, Joanne, okay, let me take you to Kenya with me. And if you're impactful and Frank sees your anointing and grace, and trust me, he'll use you. So be ready to see Joanne in Kenya with us. And Joanne,
But as long as you bring her, we've got work for her, because one of the ethos that we've discussed with Lorna is women in business.
Oh wow!
And so we will be launching in October Women in Business in Kenya when you're here. And me and Lorna are going to be discussing that and running that class from October. One way or another, we are going to venture into this women in business thing big time. Lorna is ready. Lorna is hungry, and she's ready to go. So, and you know what? I must thank God for Deborah's vision on this one.
Yeah.
Because she's been insisting, she's been pushing and said, we need to find a way to minister to women. We need to find a way. So, hey, guess what? Deborah, we are responding. And Lorna is ready. So bring on Joanne, Patrice. We would love to release a vehicle that targets on empowering women in this nation. Let me tell you, Patrice, our greatest winners in Kenya so far are women.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct.
they guys, don't kill me, guys, but they outwork us.
Yeah.
They just work so hard. And you know what? One of the secrets hidden in Africa, Patrice, is the African woman.
Yeah.
She's intelligent, tenacious, hardworking, hungry, smart, willing to pay the price. Woo! Oh, there is Deborah.
You called her out. She said she cannot wait to launch women business with you. That is incredible. And you've got somebody dynamic. Matter of fact, speaking of that, Kenya and Lorna will be emceeing the business plan competition this year. So two women. And I think women in business is going to be Deborah's greater legacy here in the Nehemiah Project, birthing and really moving that forward. But Frank, so for your summit, you had a winner. And I've asked the team to bring you back here with Lorna and your winner. I want to have them both here. So Rita, first of all, Rita is poised.
Rina, yes. R-I-N-A.
Ah, there it is. She's incredible. So I thought she was the youngest sister of our friend Ronnie, but I found out she was the older sister. So I made it fun. I said, I guess you said, get beside me, little brother. I'm a revenge you. And she came back with a vengeance to avenge her younger brother. She is incredible. She has an incredible vision to change the investment culture in Kenya and eventually Africa. Little girl, just on it. So first of all, Rina, congratulations. So how do you feel about, and to you, congratulations, Frank, about her prospect as she goes to the international?
Patrice, you have no, first of all, she's not a little girl. Let me tell you, she is a tower. The woman is hardworking, super qualified, anointed of the Holy Ghost. She's a mother, and her husband is my friend. He's an amazing man. She is absolutely hardworking. She is top executive in a bank, in an investment bank in the country.
Wow.
This is she's you know what you when you meet rock solid, what it
Yeah.
looks like. As in, Patrice, this woman has 1 million views of her what do you call them, videos on YouTube
Wow.
and Facebook in combination.
Wow.
Amazing soul. And then completely sold out to God. You
Wow.
don't get any better than that, Patrice. Africa is just showing off some of its best. And you know what, Patrice? I told you that. I told you that in when we met. I told you we're coming. The Kenyans are coming.
And
And,
that,
and this is not the end of the talent. The people who are now currently doing BE executive, Patrice, and the ones who just graduated, as in you wait. It's good to want to beat Kenya, but my God, even in my absence, Patrice, even in my absence, as in Lorna has the spirit now, Albert has the spirit. They are Astonasias, and I don't know if Lorna is asleep, but if you knew how much firepower is in that woman, Patrice. So we look, Patrice. The truth is this: God has been hiding something special in Africa,
wow.
and He's releasing it now. And Rena is one of those. Nina is one of those. Lorna is one of those. And those amazing and some amazing men who like Ronnie, like Kenji, who's a superstar. These are just some of the guys God has been hiding diamond gems in Africa. And you know what He's going to do in the coming years? He's going to show off and
Wow.
bring one by one out. And we are ready here to shepherd them.
That's incredible. And by the way, if you want to check out Rena at the Reach International Competition, Nehemiah Week, make sure you register today for Nehemiah Week, the week of August 9th, so you can check out the business tour. Have you guys selected yet who's going to be your tour showcase this year, Frank?
But I'm so spoiled for choice, Patrice. I'm like, God, please help me. Because I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I don't know, honestly, I'm not decided. What do you want to see, Patrice? Agriculture, real estate. Last time we brought you real estate.
I love it. You got all these
So
choices.
this year we're gonna go for that first day. Then we'll do the competition, and we have several chickens, Patrice, or ECIN. So I think we have 2 or 3 coming. So
Wow.
it's a busy time for this coach.
Wow. So the business tour, which starts on Mondays, where you get a chance to, we'll take you to Asia, Africa, Europe, Latin America, and North America, where you get a chance to hear showcase of highlight businesses and get under the hood and see what's makes them kingdom and to kind of hear their stories. And then on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it'll be the conference where you're going to be deal with thriving in midst of crisis, where various speakers, including Frank himself, many others will be sharing with you, equipping you through coaching, training, access to finance, how to thrive no matter your situation and circumstances. And then we have our investment fund, or not fund, forum on Thursday, where you actually hear businesses that are defending their project and as they seek to raise capital. And then on Friday will be business plan competition, international. The question is, who will win the international business plan competition this year? Will Kenya retain it, or will it be Europe, or will it be North America, or will it be Asia? And then we'll go into our impact event on Saturday, where you'll hear about our State of the Ministry event, where we'll also challenge you, our audience, to help us to raise money to provide scholarship and support to entrepreneurs around the globe. So if you're not registered, register today so that you can be a part of Nehemiah Week. Frank, let's talk a bit before we wrap up about. So the reality is sometimes these competition, the best person doesn't always win based on how we perceive the best person to be, right? And it's never fun to win, especially when you think your candidate really outperformed, but yet the judges did not pick them. So how do you handle that? Could you give, because we just had a number of competition in the last couple of weeks, and there was only one winner on each of them. And there are people who may have felt that did better than the others, but that were not chosen. So what advice would you give leaders and entrepreneurs, center directors, entrepreneurs? How do you handle it when you feel that your person should have won and they were not selected?
That's not easy. Today, I was just meeting Patrice for dinner, everyone who was part of the competition in Kenya. And Rena won it, but we were like 5 people there discussing about it. And Patrice, it was right face to face. Okay, what's up? How did Rena win? And so, and Lorna was there, because she was one of the judges, and we were giving feedback on what can you do, and what were we looking at. So one of the things I say is you need to trust the process. You need to trust the process, that the people who are doing this judging, they are not malicious. They are not, we actually don't pay them, Patrice. It's a volunteer job. And we try to pick the best person to judge. And we try to make sure that we don't influence in any way. Patrice, the chairman of the board of Nehemiah, could not help to decide for his daughter-in-law to win. If that's happening at that level, it doesn't happen. So we've got to trust that the process is clean. If you believe in the umpire of the game, then it becomes easier to deal with you feeling fair and unfair. The second thing I found, Patrice, is you got to believe in God. That above all this thing, that there is a God who is gracious. Patrice, if I remember, Deborah coming to me in Florida and said, Frank, you did very well. And I was second. And she said, you did very well. And I remember that how encouraging that was from her. Yet I wanted to win. I'm so competitive, Patrice. I try to hide it, but it comes out sometimes. But she said you did well. And God is going to use you to do great things. My failure was so good because I stopped doing pumpkins. I now do people, Patrice. If I was number one, I would have had enough money to start my factory.
Wow.
I didn't. I only had enough money to pay for the license.
Wow. Look at
and
God.
The failure was God's gracious way to point me into my destiny. I have done so many graduations, Patrice, maybe 10, maybe almost 15 now, if I put all of them together, because we are in cohort 6 in B executive, we are in cohort 7 in B certificate, and this is this year. So I have seen every single time we select who's won, who's not won, there's always a great message for everyone who's graduating. And God uses it to encourage somebody, to transform somebody, whether it is position 1 or position 2 or you're not in any position. If you see the finger of God in it, you're likely to take the lessons. And I had you talk to people, Patrice, who are number 2, and you told them, go work on the business and prove the judge is wrong. So guess what? I learned from you. And I tell guys, Did you lose? Do you disagree with the judge? Good, that's nice. Firepower. Use that knowledge to prove they were wrong. Well, you know what, Patrice? I don't know if I proved my judges wrong, but the next day I came back with a competitor and I was made a country director.
Wow. Look at God. Isn't that incredible? And I think we even forgot who won that year. And
Well, I'll never forget because I lost. I know who I lost to, Patrice.
I love it.
My wife likes the guy so much. She gave her one of the best African dresses for his wife.
What a
I
trade.
was like, that was our competition, sweetheart. How do you do that? But you know, she is a perfect. So
that's kingdom. Frank, real quick before we close, one more question to ask you. I can talk with Frank all day long. You know, we had to take the time off and just chat, Frank. It's awesome. Real quick, Lorna says, congratulations on your position, Frank. I'm so happy for you. Best news. God is so great. And Ruth says Nehemiah Project is truly a platform where business people can learn how to do business and be the center of God's will. Gina said it is so exciting to see the treasure of Africa via Kenya in earthen vessel. I can't wait to join Patrice in Kenya. That's right. Gina is coming with me.
Yes, and we're ready.
Yes, I'm bringing the best.
Grace has been planning for Gina, so she better be ready because Grace is going to take the responsibility for that. So
let's do it. By the way, if you are watching and listening, you say, I want to join a class in Kenya. Let me tell you how to do that real quick. Let's put a link up there. Frank, so how do they get, there's Frank's information. There it is. Frank at nehemiahproject.org or that phone number, or just visit their website. You now have your new website. And by the way, I'm a little envious. I kind of like yours better than ours. And so what's your domain, Frank? How do they go straight to your website?
No, they're gonna get it. It's the team will just post in a minute. Okay, but you know what, Patrice, on the 15th, on the 15th of July, we're gonna set off with the first 100 students for BE self-study.
Did you say 100 students?
Yeah.
This guy.
Well, if you don't believe it, Patrice, you just hide somewhere and wait. You will see.
That's not even, Frank, leave some for others. I mean, this guy, that's incredible. That's even bigger than, I mean,
no,
it was funny. You may beat Oxlos. You may beat Oxlos.
We haven't, there it is, Patrice, BE self-study, there it is.
I love it, there it is.
And we actually have a seminar, Patrice, we have a seminar this week on the 1st. So the team, we have a seminar on Thursday. We have a seminar on Thursday.
Team, put the link for that seminar up there so that what's the topic, Frank?
Oh, Patrice, we are, what's Rachel, we are talking about, why am I forgetting? It's not growth.
See, this guy can't do anything about his team. Somebody help him out. Now you know the real work gets done by Lorna, Ruth, Albert.
It's true. I don't pretend, Patrice. Oh, I'm forgetting. Yes, opportunities. It's opportunities.
All right.
Yes,
Rachel.
We are looking at what do you need to do in the second half of the year to know God's direction on the opportunities He's given you to go into them.
Amen.
Oh, there is Albert, Patrice. There is Albert. That's one of the greatest guys. Lorna was here. Oh, Patrice. You see, the team is here, you know?
They are here. They are here. Wow, man, I want to continue, but Frank, my really last question for you, because we do have to land the plane. So the next 6 months, tell us a bit about what is up ahead for Nehemiah Project Kenya.
Man, we are Patrice, we are believing God for some serious stuff, honestly. Self-study.
Wow.
So self-study, we are, Patrice, the thing about self-study as a business model is just the ability to be able to train more people. Right now, we are limited because
Yeah.
you've got to come into a class,
Yeah.
coached every week.
Yeah. The scale.
This process allows a growth that is exponential.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? Guess what? Rena taught us how to do it in her program.
Wow.
So we already have a good model to learn from. Do you
Wow.
know, Patrice, originality is exaggerated.
Well said.
If somebody is doing something well, copy it
That's
well and do it. Let the kingdom of God grow. If it's going well, do it.
I love it.
So Rena did an amazing thing. She's gonna redo it again. And we have a similar product. Let's do it.
I
So
love it.
that's number one. Second, Women in Business with Lorna. October, we want to take off with that center. And
Wow.
that's a huge thing. We're hosting Patrice. We'll be doing all kinds of activities during that time. So
Mhm.
second part of the year is huge. We've never had a more robust plan for second half of the year, Patrice, than we have. In August, we are going for Nehemiah Week. But after Nehemiah Week, we are launching a new BE executive class. We are also graduating a B executive class in August, as well as in July, and then just before Nehemiah Week. And then towards the end of the year, we will graduate another class.
Oh my
Patrice,
goodness.
our H2 is like, let's go. We actually, Patrice, have to hire new people.
Wow. That is incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
Africa is
Oh,
back.
one more thing, Patrice.
Yes.
I'm trusting God. May the Lord help us with that. That we can get enough people to register for trainer certification because Deborah wants to come and run it.
That's right.
And we need laborers. And you know what, Patrice, I'm thinking? Maybe this is one of those regional director roles. I want
That's
to
right.
bring trainers from all over Africa to
Amen.
come to Kenya and we can run that together. So, you know what?
Well, if you set it up, we'll market it. We'll push it out to other people. Let's make it. You and Deborah work on it. That'll be awesome. By the way, let me say this. I promised not Kenya. I promised Deborah a safari. She's worked so hard this year. So so please arrange that. We'll pay for it to make sure that Deborah, she's gonna stick around for after I'm gone so that she can relax in a nice safari. And I've asked her to ask Lorna to go with her so that she has another female, maybe you and your wife. So please take it that for me. Please, let's find a nice safari that Deborah can stick around while we're gone and just enjoy. I may not be able to stick around because I have to go to Congo, but let's make sure that happens to Deborah. But I will come, guys. Safari. I mean, if you go to Kenya, stick around for safari because that was like the best experience I've had. You guys have a jewel there, Frank. But with that said,
oh, it is. I told you already. We
man.
have jewels God has been hiding. By the way, it's true, Patrice. There has never been a place in this continent better for safaris than Kenya.
It is incredible. It is incredible, man. Frank, my time is up. All right, guys. Look, I got so much more. Frank, you got to come back. But we're going to bring Frank back with Nina and
Rina.
and Nina and Rena, Nina and Rena, because I want to talk to these winners as we prepare for Nehemiah Week. I want to look at what does it look like this year to pass the baton from Kenya to Kenya. All right, so looking forward to that. Frank, before Frank's going to give you a word of advice, Deborah, I'm running late for our meeting. Please stick around. I'll come to you since I'm done with Frank. So real quick, let me do a little commercial, and then Frank's going to give you a word of advice because I do want him to give you wisdom before he leaves. So if you want to know more about Nehemiah Project Kenya, what's happening there, there's a link there, nehemiahproject.com/Kenya. Just go there and just they have a beautiful website that just tells you all about what's going on in Kenya. And then you can learn about the seminar coming up this week. You can also learn about the classes coming up this week. If you want to contact Frank directly, you want to go straight to the boss man himself, please put Frank's email up again and his phone number. just reach out to Frank, and then he'll take care of you. You know, we've sent folks from Nigeria to you, Frank, from people, no matter what country you're from. We send him to Frank, and he will serve you as though you were Kenyan. He will serve you. He's even, we sent you, what's her name? Allison. Now, Allison is going to Kenya. She's been going there before we go there, right? So you serve them as though they were Kenyan. We appreciate that about you, Frank. If you want to know more about Nehemiah Week, you want to sign up for Nehemiah Week, sign up for it today. Make sure you get your tickets so you can be a part of Nehemiah Week coming up. And if you want to know more about Nehemiah Project in general, how we can work with you, provide you coaching, training, access to capital, visit our website, nehemiahproject.org, .com, sorry. Not Nehemiah Project, NehemiahEcommunity.com, NehemiahEcommunity.com, you can go there. All right, so real quick, Lorna said, woohoo, Deborah, you are in fantastic, you are for a fantastic time safari. So Lorna, make sure you take care of Deborah while she's there. Take the time off and spend with Deborah. That'll be a neat thing. Frank, you know, there are people listening and watching. Somebody talked about they love your passion. I think that was, I forgot who that was. So as people look at the next 6 months, you know, countries are opening up, but some countries are not. Let's be frank, are not. This pandemic is not really fully behind us, but yet you are pressing on as though it was. So speak to the entrepreneurs out there. What is the key for them as they look at the next 6 months? What is some advice you can give them to ensure that the next 6 months for them is a thriving 6 months?
Success is not an accident. Success is actually predictable. Think about Jesus. He came to seek, save, and lost. He had a passion. He was focused. He knew what he was going to do, when, how, what. Regardless, Patrice, can you imagine somebody who met more opposition than him? Opposition against a system will fail. The system can survive whatever kind of opposition it comes. Lay a plan, trust in God, stick with it. If you need to pivot, but stay with it. Patrice, when I look at Jesus, as in he was a success, not because he was the Son of God, but because he trusted in a system. He connected with God, he did the work, and he was a success. It's possible for each one of us to experience success if we can do the same. We connect with God, we trust in a system of what we are doing, work it, and wait for it. Because when we wait for it, that's what faith is. Faith is you've connected with God, you know what you want to do, you won't know what problem you want to solve, you stay with it, regardless of the opposition, and wait to see what God has planned for you. So I want to say the statement again: success is predictable. It just needs people to work it.
Wow. That's a good way to close. Success is predictable. So you can right now predict the outcome of your life and business the next 6 months and work it. Frank, thank you so much, man. Please come back. Bring those two ladies with you so we can talk about how they've been able to predict their own successes. I love it. Friends, thank you so much for watching. Let me close with this. Let me pray for you. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord enable you to steward those talents that are under your care. And may you steward them in such a way that one day, like Frank, you can hear those wonderful words. Well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things. God will now make you rule over much. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.